Event Center. Tim Brando along with Bart Connor, and at the end of one rotation, Vitaly Sherbo has the lead with Roth of the United States and Conrad Vorsanger not far behind. But we should point out that in that first rotation, Scott Keswick had problems on the pommel horse, and his chances of winning the all-around are virtually gone.
Yeah, and to meet this high caliber, you can't have mistakes like that, and it's unfortunate because Scott got off to a real rough start, and that's going to completely bounce him out of contention.
Jared Hanks is standing by, and the floor exercise is now the United States in the second rotation has moved to the floor X, while the Soviet Union is over to the pommel horse.
Next athlete up on floor exercise is our gentleman from University of Oklahoma. This is Jared.
Jared is very explosive on floor exercise. He's going to open with a move which is a 1.5 twisting, 1 3/4 backflip. Kurt Thomas was the first to do this in international competition. Laid out, nicely done.
This, along with a high bar, his favorite apparatus, so look for an outstanding performance here.
There's the same move coming back, that time in a tucked position. Oh, look at the strength and the flange. Legs together, and then on up to handstand. The gymnast must fulfill the requirements of covering the whole floor area. This is another requirement. This is a arabesque or a scale. The judges require the gymnast to do a balance on either one foot or one hand. And a double full. Very clean landing on that dismount.
I'd say he stuck it, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Now he opted to do an easier dismount than many of the Soviets are doing here. Just a backflip with a double twist, but of course he performed it very cleanly. It'll score well, although the judges should take off a little bit for not having used the highest level of difficulty he could possibly use as the last run. This is the opening run, though. 1.5 twists and 1 3/4 flips, and the rollout was clean. This is a great combination from a backspin right up to a straddle plunge, then legs together, and then on up to the handstand.
This is a young man that plays golf in your backyard.
Yeah, we see him out there on number 8 almost every day. He's not a bad golfer.
All right, and he's standing by now with our Kevin Cusick. Kevin?
Jared, you completed everything you wanted to do. Great routine.
Thank you very much. It's one of my best.
Every one you attempted this time, I know you didn't do it in a couple of early routines, but you did complete them here. Were you happy about that?
Yes, very much. Couldn't have done any better than today. I'm pretty nervous because this is my first international competition, but I did pretty well.
Were you happy after the first rotation?
Yeah, had a little bit of trouble on pommel horse, but I covered pretty well.
Okay, Jared, back to you, Tim Brando.
All right, Kevin, thank you very much. And you're looking at Vitaly Sherbo, our leader after one rotation. 18 years of age, out of Minsk, Belarusia, in the Soviet Union. And you mentioned earlier that Hanks, by the way, a 9.85, so an outstanding performance indeed for Jared Hanks. You mentioned that he's got a very mature style.
And watch that opening move. He goes up to the handstand and right back down in the flares. He has not yet touched the pommels. And he's gone all the way across the horse. Now he's up on the pommels in what we call one pommel work. Nice extension in the scissors. Back up to flares and out to the end and a pirouette off. Boy, that's going to score well.
Now look at that face, tells you he is all business.
And it's a sunburned face. They've been out here for the last couple of weeks having a good time, and I guess they don't have any sunscreen in the Soviet Union. I don't know, but he's pretty badly burned. His opening move, notice he does from the flare right up to handstand pirouette and then right back down into what we call a spindling flare, which means he's traveling back across the direction of his leg movement. Boy, it's very complex. Pommel horse is one of those events that has changed dramatically over the last 6 or 8 years. The level of difficulty that these young gymnasts are doing Up on the pommels, back down to the leather. Very clean work.
A 9.975 or 9.90 on the pommel horse. I beg your pardon, for Vitaly Sherbo. And we will continue with more from San Jose State in a few moments as the United States and the Soviet Union challenge match continues. Connor and Kevin Cusick down on the floor handling all the interviewing chores this afternoon and this evening in San Jose. And we continue with the Soviet Union on the pommel horse in this, the second rotation. And the world champion, Igor Korobchinsky. His first visit to the United States was in the '88 McDonald's Challenge, just a couple of years ago.
I believe Korobchinsky has improved a great deal on pommel horse. When we saw him last year in the World Championships, his body line was a little piked and a little tight. What the judges look for is a straight body line from the shoulders all the way down through the feet, and he's more extended now. Oh, what a move. Pirouette to handstand, back down and back up to the handstand. I've never seen that before.
Clean and confident, Korobchinsky.
He's improved a great deal on pommel horse. He goes up to handstand. Normally the gymnast pirouettes off, but watch, he comes back around and down again, and then up to the handstand for the final pirouette off. That's tough at the end of the routine when your arms feel like concrete. Once again, handstand, pirouette, all the way around, back down. I've never seen that. Original move, and of course, originality points are something the judges are looking for.
The world champion with a 9.95. Not bad for the greatest discovery in gymnastics in '89, and that was for the Soviet team as well. When he beat Mogilny in the World Championships, it was a star of the future. And were it not for the problems he had physically, he would have been on the Goodwill team. And now Cheney Humphrey on the floor exercise. Again, another young man from UCLA in pre-med, will be a junior this year.
And watch how powerful he is on floor. Double layout.
He strikes you with the strength of his upper body, doesn't he?
Those are some serious guns, huh, Timmy B?
You bet they are.
Front step out, tuck double back. Remember, landings are key in any gymnastic competition. The gymnast needs to show complete control every time there's a step or a hop. It's a minimum of 1/10 of a point deduction. You hear that bell in the background? That means he has 20 seconds to complete the rest of his exercise. And, ooh, opens up just a little early on that tuck double back. Otherwise, he would have nailed it.
Born in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Now making his home in Los Angeles, and as we mentioned, his coach, same as Scott Keswick, Fim Furman, who, by the way, was on the Soviet national team back in the 70s.
This is the laid out double back flip. His legs are just bowed out a little bit. There's one hop on the landing. That's 1/10 of a point. On the last tumbling run, he's very high in this tuck double back. The technique is excellent, but you'll notice he opens up just a hair early right there. He kicks out. If he would have pulled it around just a little longer, he would have been able to stick that landing and not give away another 1/10 of a point.
9.70 the score for Cheney Humphrey. You get the feeling he knows, were it not for the fact that he did not get that rotation completely over in that dismount, he would have been in great shape. Now we move back to the pommel horse. Final competitor for the Soviet Union, Valery Belinky.
This is his best event. Watch the difficulty in this routine and the body position.
An astounding 6 medals he received at the Goodwill Games this past summer.
Oh, look at the rhythm of the handstand. Oh, a little break there. He broke the rhythm just at the top of that handstand. The form on this routine is impeccable. I think we were going to see a 10. Instead, he checked that handstand just a little bit at the top. I believe the judges will take off a little bit. Otherwise, that was without a doubt the most difficult routine. And the body line, notice how completely his extended is and how far his hips are away from his hands as he swings around. Notice the lift as he torques this up to the handstand. He checks it right there a little bit, you'll see, and then continues on down to the reverse leg cut. Oh, they gave him a 10. I can't believe it. That score is too high. It's a great routine, certainly one of the best in the world, but he did give up a minor deduction there in the break and rhythm.
And that's something that, Bart, we see more oftentimes in dual competitions. Relatively speaking, the scores usually are higher, aren't they?
It's a Glasnost score.
Oh, strike one for Glasnost. Well, the times they are changing, aren't they? All right, we'll be back with more. There you see, after 2 rotations, Vitaly Sherbo and the rest of the Soviet team looking good, but the United States still very much in the thick of it as we move to the 3rd rotation. We'll continue from San Jose State in just a few moments as the USSR and the United States continue.